Before we dive in, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to UK Now, because trust me, you don't want to miss debates like this one. Picture the chamber, quiet, tense, and then boom! A Tory MP launches into what can only be described as an outright assault on Rachel Reeves and her so-called reforms. But make no mistake, what he's talking about isn't reform at all. He calls it the most destructive raid on homeowners in living memory. And here's why. Families across Farnham and Bordon, he says, are bracing for new taxes on homes over £50,000, capital gains tax on family houses, council tax revaluations, and even a land value tax. Sound like reform to you? He calls it what it is, a sledgehammer aimed squarely at aspiration, mobility, and stability. He paints the picture for us. In Farnham, the average house is over £600,000, with detached homes close to £900,000. Families could end up facing bills of nearly £5,000 every year, on top of their mortgages, council tax, and already crippling energy costs. And this doesn't stop in Farnham. It hits Hazelmere, Liphook, Bordon, everywhere. Then he drives it home. What about pensioners and downsizers, people in places like Greyshot, Tilford, or Bramshot? Imagine working your whole life, paying your dues, only to be slapped with the grotesque prospect of capital gains tax on your primary residence. Even in your retirement, you can't escape the taxman. At this point, another MP jumps in, reminding the House that pensioners have already been squeezed by the cut to winter fuel payments. And yes, the Tory on his feet agrees. Pensioners, farmers, small business owners, all treated like cash cows for this government. But of course, Labour's benches fire back. Your party raised taxes 25 times in the last Parliament, one MP jibes. The Tory shrugs it off, saying he wasn't even in the chamber for those votes. And besides, there was a pandemic, a war in Ukraine, and, his words, the deficit Labour left us to deal with. Then comes the climax. This, he declares, is not about numbers on a balance sheet. It's about whether families can stay in the communities where they raise their children. It's about whether pensioners can pass on their homes. It's about whether young people will ever see the ladder of opportunity lowered again. A capital gains tax on main homes, he warns, will trap people in their properties, dry up the housing supply, and shut out first-time buyers. The government's defense? They call it fairness. But there's nothing fair, he roars, about forcing a pensioner in Greetham to sell their family home. Nothing fair about young parents in Linford having to choose between childcare and a new property levy. And nothing fair about punishing one region of the country simply because houses there are worth more. He ends with words that echo around the chamber. If you tax homes, you tax hope. A brutal line, and one that makes you stop and think. Is this government pro-family, pro-aspiration, or just pro-tax? So, let me ask you, do you agree with this Tory MP that Labour's plans will crush ambition and punish hard-working families? Or do you think Rachel Reeves is simply making the wealthy pay their fair share? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'll be keeping an eye on the debate below. And don't forget, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you never miss a single Commons showdown here on UK Now.